I've been dancing Odissi for almost 18 years now, and it is my base of dancing. It's where my dancing and all my technique comes from. And belly dancing is something which is much newer than Odissi is. It's just 9 years old. How the two came together is still a surprise to me, and I'm glad it happened.
I think for me, belly dancing will always be the most emancipating art form. It will always be something that I'm inspired by, and I think it will always be the most important thing in my life.
I think the two merge beautifully in my life because Odissi is extremely traditional, extremely strict. At the same time, Mai dancing being traditional is not a very strict dance form, at least not the way we practice it here.
I remember at this one showcase when I was choreographing the students, I was very interested in choreographing a solo for Nitisha. And I think that is where this idea of belly dance and Odissi fusion, was conceived, which we now call Odissi and Dill. And and I think it was super because the response was great. The way they merged together was absolutely amazing. It was a delight to watch. Um, and I think for the first time on any kind of platform or stage, a dancer would have probably performed these two styles together.
It's quite interesting how Odissi and belly dance balance each other out. Not just of how I feel about it, but how technically the two dance forms merge together. What Odissi gives us is extremely strong technique, very grounded movements, and a lot of body work. And at the same time, work with expressions, gestures, mudras. Whereas Bairans gives you hip work, something which is totally missing in Odissi.
I think my take on belly dance Odissi fusion is probably the exact same because for me, when I dance belly dancing, the feeling's completely different. When I dance Odissi, it's completely different. But I feel like when they both come together, I don't feel like anything's missing because we're able to put in so many different dimensions of the body that physically it feels satisfying, emotionally it feels satisfying, and I think creatively also it feels satisfying. My first experience with Odissi as a dance form was when I went to study with Kalina Shakti in Pushkar. And I think that's the first time where, in my mind, I was able to choreograph not just belly dancing, but I was able to think of movements from Odissi that could work with belly dance movements to depict a storyline. And that is when Aisha, which was my first Odissi belly dance fusion piece, happened. And that's when I think this whole phenomenon took birth. One of my funniest experiences with belly dance Odissi fusion is on a reality show that I was on called Just Dance. The song that I chose to perform to was Vande Mataram because I wanted to depict belly dance Odissi and the beauty of these two dances together to the national song of our country. And I remember the response that I got from that side was, हमारे ऑफिस पे लोग पत्थर फेंकेंगे अगर तुम वंदे मातरम पे belly dancing करोगी. Today, whenever I meet people in the streets or people recognize me, people from the older generation will always say, बेटा आप बहुत अच्छे डांसर हो पर वो जो आपने वंदे मातरम पे डांस किया था ना उससे सुंदर पीस हमने आज तक नहीं देखा है. Nitisha's and my first collaborative project for the Banjara company dancers with belly dance in Odissi was Hotel California. But we had no idea that the response that we would get for it would be the way it was. The video went absolutely viral when we uploaded it on Facebook and other social media platforms. And I think there were people from all across the world that were, tagging us and tagging other people saying, oh, you should watch these dancers, you should watch this, performance called Hotel California. We've never seen something like this. It led us to doing a lot of events with this choreography. It led us to performing this at multiple stages. And I think one of the most prestigious events that we could perform Hotel California at was TEDx Gateway Women, which was in Mumbai. When we performed it at TEDx, I think we felt like, wow, for the first time, people understood what we were doing with it. On the other hand, sometimes I feel like when we perform at events where there are purists of classical Indian dance and other styles of dancers, I feel like there is always, an apprehension towards us and like a judgment that is made towards us.
Actually, what you're saying is very true. The purists have a very different view from what we have. because I think probably because we are young dancers and our view is far more modern than dancers who've been dancing this say for 30 years of their life and who actually consider our tradition as something very sacred and close to their heart. I'm not saying that this is not something I don't respect. Of course I respect it, but these are people who feel this is something very sacred, so it's like going to a temple for them. And so a lot of people who've heard of Odissi Belly Dance fusion have shown their apprehensions towards it, if not said anything directly. There was this news article about Hotel California and how these group of people basically wanted to file a legal case against us for creating Odissi Belly Dance fusion. And the entire article was about कैसे हमने एक ट्रेडिशनल डांस फॉर्म की तौहीन करी है, उसको बेली डांसिंग जैसे डांस फॉर्म के साथ मिक्स करके, एंड हमको सू कर देना चाहिए एंड हम पे केस हो जाना चाहिए, जो हमें पढ़ के बहुत ही फनी लगा बिकॉज दिस इज नॉट समथिंग वी बिलीव इन एंड इट केम एज अ सरप्राइज. एंड देयर वाज apparently a full page article about putting on my name and Meher's name saying that these two girls should be sued for the action.
I feel like what I see in today's world is all fusion. Fashion is fusion, music is fusion. Fusion is what brings people and cultures together. Even in technology, you see fusion. And I've always believed, even 10 years back when I started belly dancing in India, that eventually I saw belly dancing and what Indian dances could bring to belly dancing together. So for me, I never thought they were separate from each other, because I think in every civilization, in every culture, an art is influenced by the already existing cultural matter in that society.
I think fusion is where the future of the world is. Fusion is where people understand each other because they're not forced to believe in one line of thought. Fusion allows you to explore, it allows you to enrich yourself, and it's something which is easier to understand. So I think it's something everybody can relate to and anybody can relate to.
हो एक लड़की को देखा तो ऐसा लगा, एक लड़की को देखा तो ऐसा लगा, जैसे खिलता गुलाब, जैसे शायर का ख्वाब, जैसे उजली किरण, जैसे मन में हिरन, जैसे चांदनी रात, जैसे नरमी की बात, जैसे मंदिर में हो एक जलता दिया, एक लड़की को देखा तो ऐसा लगा, एक लड़की को देखा तो ऐसा लगा, जैसे सुबह का रूप, जैसे सर्दी की धूप, जैसे बीना की तान, जैसे रंगों की जान, जैसे बल खाए बेल, जैसे लहरों का खेल, जैसे खुशबू लिए आई ठंडी हवा, एक लड़की को देखा तो ऐसा लगा, एक लड़की को देखा तो ऐसा लगा जैसे नाचता मोर, जैसे रेशम की डोर, जैसे परियों का राग, जैसे संदल की आग, जैसे 16 सिंगार, जैसे रस की फुहार, जैसे आहिस्ता आहिस्ता बढ़ता नशा